All right, what's going on, y'all? I literally just recorded this video a few minutes ago. It was about a 10-minute video. The whole damn video was on mute the whole time. I'm running my mouth. The whole video was on mute. I done tried to play it back and everything. The whole video is on mute. All right, so we're gonna just go ahead on and run it again. All right, basically, I want to talk about the Rodney Hinton Jr. situation. All right, basically, these are my thoughts on it. I've been watching YouTube videos. I've been looking around on Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. Everybody is talking about what happened. So this is my 2 cents. So apparently you have a young boy, about 18 years old, shot in the back. They're saying that somebody, he was running with, stole a car. They found the boys asleep in the car. They all got out to start running, and one of the police officers fired at him, shot him in the back. I think it was about 4 times, and apparently the police officer may have fabricated the story about, hey, I shot him in the back because he pointed a gun at me. The police, they showed the father the video footage, and from what I'm hearing, the young man did not point a gun at the officer. So the father, the very next day, it was either that day or the next day, he went out, got into his car, and he just ran over a random sheriff. I'm not going to say that I agree with that, but I am going to say that I do understand. I don't know how it feels to lose a child. I don't ever want to know that feeling, ever. But I will assume that losing your child, especially seeing how your child was executed on camera, I do believe that that can psychologically set you off. That can set anybody off, especially when you see it. So at that point, you may not even be responsible for what you do. You can temporarily go insane. You see what I'm saying? So this father, he went and he got into his vehicle and he just struck the officer and killed the officer. I'm not saying that I agree with that. Prayers out to the officer's family, prayers out to Rodney Hinton's family. But sometimes you want people to feel your pain. You see what I'm saying? So I want y'all, when y'all get a chance, to go back and look at the movie Malcolm X. Denzel Washington did a phenomenal job. Ain't nobody gonna touch that. There's no sense of even remaking it. Nobody gonna touch that. Spike Lee, amazing. Nobody is ever gonna redo that. If they do, it ain't gonna be to that caliber. Denzel, Spike Lee, untouchable. It cannot be done again. There was a scene towards the end of that movie. This is going towards the end, where somebody firebombed Malcolm X's house. And they threw the firebomb up against the window where his 3 daughters were sleeping at, right? And Malcolm comes out and he's talking to the news reporter, and he says, if that firebomb had went through that window, my 6-year-old, my 4-year-old, and my 2-year-old, they would have been basically burnt up. And Malcolm said, if that had happened, I would have taken my rifle and I would have gone after anyone in sight. This is basically saying, hey, I'm in pain. The next man is going to feel my pain. Agree or disagree, don't matter. I understand it. You got to put yourself in their shoes. You see what I'm saying? And that's most likely what that father was thinking. Somebody is going to feel my pain. All right? But the whole situation is just, it's just sad all together. I don't ever want to experience nothing like that ever in life. But I do believe experiencing something like that, and especially having to see it, you can go temporarily insane. I believe he's trying to get off on the insanity charge. I will say, brothers that look like me and look like him, we don't get to plead insanity. It just ain't happening. We can't We can't plead insanity. If you look the opposite of me and the opposite of him, you can plead insanity. Y'all not stupid. Y'all know what I mean. What's already understood don't need to be explained. We don't get to, plead insanity. Not the brothers, not the black dudes. We can't plead no insanity. So I hope he can run with that. But we gonna see how this go. But yeah, man, I'm just seeing a lot of things, man. And some people are saying he shouldn't have did it. Some people are actually celebrating that the officer lost his life. Me, I will never celebrate the loss of life because it is the loss of life. We all are gonna lose our lives one day. It just is what it is. We have a time that we are gonna be out of here. So I never celebrate the loss of life. Not when it's an innocent person. If it's a person that's an outright tyrant, that's an evil, an evil person that's doing harm or whatnot, I could care less. But just an officer coming to work doing his job, I'm not gonna celebrate that. Just imagine coming to work and next thing you know, you did over something you didn't do. So I'm not gonna celebrate that. Just imagine being a doctor. You coming to work your shift. You a doctor. You coming in for the night shift, and somebody comes through the door blasting, and they walk up to you and they just shoot you in your chest, or they shoot you in your head for nothing. They shot you in the head for the actions of another doctor. You ain't had nothing to do with this. It's just that another doctor may have did a botched surgery, another doctor may have did some malpractice, and this person is not going after that doctor. They going after you simply because you are you, and you just happen to be there, and you have the same job title as the person that screwed him over. You see what I'm saying? So I do not agree with that, but I will say I do understand. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like when a woman, like if a woman smack you, and I get it, sometimes women, they catch you off guard, you get into an argument, they will slap you, and getting slapped, that shit do sting. It does sting. And you may hit her back. I'm not saying you should hit her back. I would say, hey, just walk away. You walk away. But I do understand. She caught you off guard. It might have been a reflex. I get it. She caught you off guard. So this situation is just sad all around. Hopefully he gets a fair trial. And I saw what happened in the courtroom. They had about 30 officers trying to intimidate this man in the courtroom. I don't know what that was about. I'm not even sure why the judge allowed that. It seemed like the judge may already be biased. I don't understand why that was even necessary. He was trying to intimidate him. He did not seem shook. He did not seem moved at all, because this brother might just be numb. He might just be cold. You saw your son shot and killed in cold blood. I don't think he cared about none of that. He might just be cold. They was trying to stare him down. He kept his head up. The brother just did not care. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you get to a point in life where you just no longer care. You see what I'm saying? That son might have been his pride and joy. You lose him, that's it. You snap. It is what it is. He's not the first person that's done nothing like that. He's not gonna be the last person. They say an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Listen, sometimes stuff like this just happen, man, and it's sad that the innocent had to get hurt. But I put it to you like this: a lot of officers that sit back in the cut, a lot of the good officers that want to just keep their head down and do their work and come in, they do their 8 hours and they go home. They see the corrupt police officers abusing people, okay, abusing people's civil rights. They see the corrupt officers, but they don't say nothing. They figure, it ain't me. I ain't doing it. Maybe this could be a situation of these good officers say, hey, you know what? Let me start getting these corrupt officers off the squad. Let me start turning them in. Let me start reporting them. Because me, as a good officer, as an officer that's just trying to do his job, I don't want to be a victim, okay, because of something they did. I don't want to be held responsible and get myself killed because of something that this jackass did. So let me see if I can try to get them up out the way. Let me start writing some reports and taking down evidence and getting with internal affairs. Let me get the corrupt cops out the way, because these corrupt cops, now they're gonna start getting us innocent cops hurt. You see what I'm saying? That could be, this could be something that could spark, you know, off a new, you know. I'm just saying, not saying it is right. Nobody innocent should be hurt. I'm seeing people online celebrating the death of the cop. Listen, I do not celebrate the death of anybody that's innocent. Like I said previously, we all gonna go. I don't celebrate nobody coming to work doing doing an honest living, honest day's work. You know, he's hit and struck by a car for nothing because of the actions of some other clown. I do not celebrate stuff like that. But you cannot agree with something and understand it. And sometimes, you know, you as a parent, you get fed up, man. You get fed up. We seeing black men shot in the back. We seeing black men shot with their hands in the air. We seeing black men's attacked. You know, they getting bit, and they getting bit in the groin by police dogs. We're seeing black men putting handcuffs and getting shot in the back, and the police are saying, well, he shot himself, and it's like, how did he shoot himself in the back? And he's in handcuffs. You know, we seeing brothers beat to death inside of prisons by the COs, and people get fed up. So I do get it. It's not right. It's not right at all. So hopefully he gets a fair trial, and hopefully he gets to, you know, plead insanity, because you can go insane seeing your loved one shot dead. You see what I'm saying? You can go insane. I hope that he gets a fair trial. My prayers are with the officer's family. Hopefully he was a good officer and not a corrupt officer that was out here abusing people and basically stomping on their civil rights. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna give the officer the benefit of the doubt. You see what I'm saying? But that's just my thoughts on the situation. I can see both sides of it. You see what I'm saying? I do see both sides of it. The whole situation is just screwed up altogether, man. So, you know, those are my thoughts, and I will be back with another video shortly. Hey, this is your man Kareem. Y'all have a good one.